All right, bro. You're gonna have to figure this out, man, because I can't hear you right now.
I guess. I don't know. I hope
Yeah,
you
no, I
can hear
can't.
me. Nothing. Damn. I don't know.
Oh, you gotta do you the studio, man. You definitely gonna have to figure this joint out, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying.
You wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till we get this thing right. I don't play with all my settings. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I think he done chopped out. He gonna come back in. I done sent him an invitation. Hopefully he link in. Hopefully everybody having a good day today so far. I always like to start my lives off by saying that. Hopefully everybody having a good productive day. I've been having a good productive day so far. I just finished up one interview with Mr. Corey Coleman. I'm about to get another interview with my man Chauncy BillSup on here. Waiting for him to tap back in. I might have to send him another invitation. There we go. I'm gonna add him to the stream. Hopefully we get it working.
Yo, can you hear me now?
There we go. I got you. I got you. There we go.
Bet. All right, perfect. Yeah, I
All right.
just logged back into it.
Okay. All right. Boom.
Uh,
Hey, listen. What's crazy is I'm glad. Hold on. Let me try this. I'm gonna try to see if my thing worked too. If not, I already know I got the sound from the computer. But
no, it's gonna
uh,
work. It's gonna work. The energy's right, bro. It's gonna
there
work.
we go. Say something.
Yeah, we on. I already know.
Let's see. All right. Where you at?
Yo, you hear me?
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, bro.
This ain't it. All right. Boom. So turn this joint off. This ain't it.
All right.
All right. So boom. Yeah. Like that's crazy. You got the views going already. So I'm glad. Like I really do appreciate you coming on the post and saying like sign ups. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I was telling everybody, I don't know everybody in the city of Erie. I know everybody got a story to tell. Everybody got something to say. A lot
Oh
of
yeah,
positivity going on around there. And I want to highlight, some of the brothers in the city, and I want some of the brothers to highlight themselves. So, like,
for
I'm gonna ask you
sure.
the same question I asked everybody when I first hop on. Like, what made you want to be interested in coming on to the show and just having a conversation with me?
Shoot, bro. It's just I don't know. It's just right. I'm always looking for platforms to get on. And just kind of share what we got going on. Just so that
I
the
can't hear you no more, bro.
ooh,
Hold on.
yo, what about now? Can you hear me now?
We just had sound.
It's still not working. Hold on. Let me try to log
Too
back
many.
on.
Do the thing that you did again. We gonna try this one more time. Can y'all hear both of us, or can y'all only hear me? Either way, we gonna figure this joint out. We gonna figure this out. I don't care if we gotta be here all night. We definitely gonna figure this joint out. Cause I definitely want to hear what this man has to say. He asked to be a guest on the show. Let me close this Facebook so it won't keep. Come on, man, say something, please.
Yeah, it's working. It's gotta work. All right, I
Here
ain't
we go.
touching.
All right,
I
boom, I
ain't
can hear you.
touching nothing.
So back to the original question. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
bro.
What made you want to get involved with, you know what I mean? You said like, you taking invites or you taking signups. Like, what made you feel like you wanted to come on here and have a conversation with me?
I just I try to take every opportunity I could get to share what we got going on because I believe in it so much. You know what I'm saying? And I think you a good dude, and I think you pushing the right message. And I'm always trying to align myself or brand myself with things that are in more of a positive light. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's just a good way for us to just reciprocate some energy and just back and forth a little bit and I guess show people that there is a different there's a different mind state amongst a different group of people inside the city and that it's not all doom and gloom and glum. There's a lot of good things that are going on as well. So I just think it's important to participate in the things locally to highlight those things.
I respect that, man. I appreciate that a lot for real. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they don't want to put themselves out there, and I find myself going to ask people and stuff like that. So, like, I definitely appreciate somebody coming to me, reaching out to me, and being like, "Yo, do I sign up?" And, because at the end of the day, I feel like as you as a man, as your character, that to me says you have something to offer. You know
Oh,
what
for
I mean?
surely. And it's also I exercise, always try to exercise humility. I never used to be the best at being humble, bro. never. And a lot of people know me back, especially back when I used to play football. But I guess that's a different type of, as gladiators, shit. You got to be out there thinking that you about to be that. So like, as I grew and got a little bit older, just understanding that we're all part of the same thing, working towards the same goal. I think that's like the most important thing to keep like in the forefront of everything at this point.
Okay, that's what's up. I like that response, and from that response, it kind of to me sound like you hop right into the conversation. You know what I mean? When you say like being on that field and feeling like a gladiator, like I know what it's like on the field. I know when that adrenaline hits you and all of that. Like, how did
Mhm.
um how did you being on the football field, like how did that impact your development as a man?
Bro, I was just having this conversation the other day. Like, that's like who I am is because of that game. Like, my father was present, but not in the way and living in a home. It was more like he lived in Newcastle. So like, football was a way where I could just kind of like explore things as me and just kind of be free. And a lot of those concepts of like not giving up, having to work through things, having to understand what adversity looks like and how to adjust yourself to make sure that you can, get past that adversity or whatever you got to do to be successful. Is a lot of the things that now as a music producer and an entrepreneur, those stick to itness skills is what I call it, the ability to just put your nose in it and do it every day until it's done. That game taught me a lot about that. Taught me a lot about humility. You're not always going to be the best thing smoking. And you got to come out and work better and look at yourself and be able to look in the mirror and say, I was wrong here and wrong here. So, like, I think football was like super instrumental in my development as a man, like, no doubt about it.
Okay. Okay, that's great. Listen, man, I love the energy. You came in like ready to go. You know what I mean? Like, and I talk to a lot of athletes. I got an athletic history, so like I definitely understand the importance of like, the fraternity of being on the football team. But also, like I said, I wanted to have conversations with different men where we talking about us as men and what we need to be doing, and also as far as like highlighting other men and stuff like that. So you did mention something about being a music producer as well as
Mhm.
being an entrepreneur. So shed a little bit of light on that for us. Like, let us know what you got going on, what you doing, who you are. I mean, I know who you are, but
Yeah.
everybody watching might not know. So go ahead and brag a little bit.
Well, like I said, we're gonna keep it humble. We'll just run down the list.
Here we go.
My name's BillSup. I'm from Erie, born and bred. Um,
Oh man,
uh,
I got the wrong show. Go ahead, I'm listening.
oh no, you all right? Now I'm a music producer. Uh, my journey started 10 years ago. I was playing for the Express, and I broke my ankle, and a plate, seven screws, and a wire in my ankle later. The doc was pretty much like, bro, it just probably wouldn't be smart for you to keep trying to do this. So, while I was laid up, I had a beat program on a laptop they gave me from prep, and I was just on there, just getting to it, just trying to figure out how it worked. I always had a little interest in music. I always loved music. It was always very important, instrumental, like forming a soundtrack to my life through different records and things that I heard. And I didn't understand how much I loved it until I started playing around with it like that. Um, so I pout around local a little bit. Everybody who's in the scene around here knows me. Um, and after that, I went down to Pittsburgh and worked there for a little bit. This would have been like, so 2013, I broke my ankle. This probably would have been like 2015, 2016. I was going down to Pittsburgh doing that, got a little bit more buzz. I caught an angel investor, dude I went to high school with up here. He had wound up, doing real well in the stock market. And he was like, yo, I like what you're doing. Like, and come out to New York. So I went out to Manhattan. This was probably like 2017 through 2019, maybe something like that. We was out there. We started running our own record label out there. And we had signed my homie Pet Zebra from Pittsburgh. And then through that is when I started getting a lot of unique opportunities, like getting a record with Currency. Um, being able to go to the Migos Grammy party after they released Culture. That was crazy. Like just different stuff like that. Just being somebody in New York where it's like I hadn't quite hit that level of getting inside of like the super exclusive rooms, but just being around that kind of stuff and opportunities just, start falling in my lap. So then Zebra was from Pittsburgh, so I was doing a lot of work down there. Hardo, we did some work with him. We were bringing different people to the city. I think that's when Kenny and Aaron brought Chapo to the city too. So I got a unique opportunity to work with like that side of the game, which was like that whole SoundCloud rap era thing, which is still dope. There's a lot of dope artists that came from that. So after I did that, we kind of I wanted to come back here because I knew I just had to sharpen my sword a little bit from being in those crowds and being in those places. And I was like, I gotta work a little harder. I gotta find, my own thing to kind of run from because I was noticing the writing on the wall to get in the rooms with some of them dudes. Like it is politics, it's a popularity contest. So like you had to make sure your stuff was either so up here that it was undeniable, or you gotta like break in with your own homies and your own sound. And that's when I came back and I worked with Kenny and Aaron, Major Coin, shout out my cousins. I had to, shameless plug. That's all right though.
Absolutely. I love them
Yeah,
dudes, man. Like, throw it
yeah.
out all day. Major Coin, we in the building. I
Yeah,
love
great energy, man. My cousins, man, I love them cats, man. But yeah, so I come back from there. We had worked before, earlier, like when I first started making music, and then when I came back, we was all like, "Yo, let's just lock in and go for it." And that was around when they were like doing Major Coin when they started it, and then all of us had gone out to New York after Aaron had dropped. He dropped a tape called Star 67, which was like it was just a dope tape. Like it was just a dope tape because it was just like them sessions felt like that's what made us like, start really getting the motion going and like, okay, this is the music we want to make. This is the stuff we want to do. This is cool. So, we started doing that. And then we went out to New York for a little bit and came back and, you know, kind of broke away from my investor. And since then, the pandemic hit and really just trying to figure some things out and just what the next route is because TikTok done changed up how marketing and different things and having to figure out how to move through the industry without being face to face with people and making records over FaceTime. So the past couple of years has kind of been like a learning curve because like I guess the industry's changing again, which is cool. Progression's cool. So it's just figuring out how to fit in with the times and stay changing. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much my story as a producer. That's the condensed version. But like,
okay.
yeah.
It sounds like to me, like for you to be doing that, and then like for the ups and the downs, like it takes or it took a lot of hard work, like dedication and like consistency. On top of that, with the football thing. So then when we kind of think
Yeah.
about that, some of the conversations I've been having, like who, and then you said your father was in Newcastle. So as like, what were some of the men that were involved in your life that kind of like helped you kind of build the I guess the morals and stuff that you have? Like what role did other men, not, I don't want you to drop names, but just like
Yeah.
what role did other men outside of your father play in your life as far as like helping you develop?
I mean, like, it was so weird, bro, because like my experience was different, I had like my eighth grade football coach, a dude by the name of Gary Furch at Blessed Sacrament. He was somebody who I like when you asked me that question first popped to mind because I feel like he is one of the people who like let me be me, you know what I'm saying? And kind of like figure it out. But he was just kind of be that like guiding hand to push you back, like, hey, you might be a little too far over here, over here. Um, my stepdad was like that, but he dipped earlier on in my life when I was like 6. But like, bro, when I say my path was a little different, like I kind of like just been a real big observationalist through my life. So
Okay.
a lot of this stuff is just me being alone with myself, being like, look, if I want to get this done or if I want this to happen, like this is how it goes. And like a lot of my stuff came from watching like NFL films when I was a kid. So like watching Ray Lewis talk, you know what I mean? He was big for me as a kid. Like just that the inspiration and how like he is just like never give up. So like everything to me was just me to myself, that inner me just giving me that gladiator speech. Like, come on, bro, you gotta reach the top of the mountain. You gotta get there. You can't give up. You can't da da da. So like I had different men in my life, but it's like my men in my life were more of an example of like how not to go about shit for
Okay.
real.
Okay.
Like, so I kind of just watched that and I made my own mistakes coupled with that. And it just came to where it came to. And it's cool. I'm still learning. I'm only 31, man. Like, it's a lot left. Like,
Absolutely. And I mean, yeah, I mean, hey, listen, sometimes you got to learn from the dudes and you also got to learn from the do nots. You know what I mean? As long as you learn and you growing and you develop it.
I think there's something to that, and I think it's more important to pay attention to your do nots than your do's, because like, they say trauma is the gateway to enlightenment, and people want stuff and things, and it's like that stuff is cool and those things are cool that come with life, but like the experience and the process is what I call it. Falling in love with the process is so much more important than like, yeah, you can have a lot of chains and gold and this and that, and it's beautiful and it's shiny and it's this, but like it's fleeting. You know what I'm saying? But going outside and watching like a tree, like that's never fleeting because there's so much going on. So like when I'm saying like being inside of the moment, recognizing that and what you think is beautiful about the world can change the way you look at a lot of things and help, you know, I guess progress things in more of a direction of like a unified thing rather than a competition state.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. You say that, like unify versus competition, because like that's definitely what I'm working on, is trying to like figure out ways that we can kind of start collaborating, team building, and you know what I mean, kind of coming together. Um,
So
you
like
know, like
I was watching Rick Rubin on Joe Rogan this morning, and he was talking about collaboration versus cooperation. He just wrote a book that I want to go read. But the term collaboration, I think oftentimes gets misconstrued because like collaboration means all of us are here at the same time doing the same thing, working towards the same goal, and that's cool. But like sometimes cooperation is important too, because sometimes my ideas ain't the best. Sometimes my idea needs refined. Sometimes I need another idea to come in and press my idea to, is this a diamond or is this just going to be a piece of coal? You know what's going to happen from this when we put some pressure on it. So like that's like I think it's important because like you could collab. Like every time I turn on my laptop or my start playing with my keyboard, like I'm collaborating with the music. Like so collaboration can be something that you do by yourself, but cooperation inside of a collaboration I think is like finding that line of duality. You feel what I'm saying, where both of those things can live, so that balance makes it what it needs to be.
okay. I like how you thinking, man. You taking me to school, man. I'm passing you the mic. I want to let you get to ask some questions for real.
Oh no,
That's
you
what's
cool,
like.
bro.
You seem to be very passionate about your music. You know what I mean? And then like on
Oh
top of
yeah.
that, you talk football, and we talking music as an art, and then you saying like as far as just like observing the beauty and stuff outdoors. So like I ask everybody this question. I'm gonna ask you this question. You know what I mean? As far as like mental health, like what's
Yeah.
your take on mental health? How do you address it? What's your thoughts on it? You know what I mean? Take me to church and
Bro,
mental health.
this is some stuff that I guess I open up more. Like I tried to kill myself before. um
Okay.
I've been there, bro. When I lost football, I went to a real dark space in my life because that was so much of my identity that I didn't understand how to not be the football person anymore, you know and so much of your worth in that sport is so conditional because it's based on performance. And once you start living life where that performance and that metric isn't something that's indicating to you as a tangible vision that this is my success, it's hard to figure out if you're doing okay in life. So um through the front half of my musical journey, and that, like I said, the competition versus just like being me, it caused me to go to a place where it got so negative that, like I said, I tried to take my own life, like for surely. I'm open about it. I tell people about that. And
I appreciate that. We need that. We need raw, authentic conversations. You know what I mean?
bro, we
I'm
and
that's why
whether
you got
whether I whether I admit it or not, like somebody else who's watching this done been through that too, or is feeling like that. So it's
yeah.
it's important to speak about these things, especially as males, and then the step further as black males. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, I found meditation. I was in San Francisco on a family vacation, and my mom's friend, we were out there doing some touring, and he was like talking about the Buddhist temple and like how he got into meditation and how it kind of like changed the way he thought. And I was just like, all right, this dude might be a kook, or this might be the coolest thing ever, because like I was raised up in a church. My dad's a preacher, you know. I always felt like there was maybe just a little bit something more. And I'm not here to say what I believe is 100% what it is, or what it like. I think again, it's all just the same thing being said in a different language. But
Okay.
I know for me, the way that the traditional Bible went didn't really click with me on how to like connect spiritually with what God was to me, you
Okay.
know? So once I started meditating, I started finding an alternate way of thinking that allowed me to get out of the box to see that like there's more to this world than the way that parents in our school like raise us. And it's important for us to go find knowledge, because the pursuit of knowledge is like basically what keeps you going in life for real. You know what I mean? The time you stop looking or reading or thinking or learning is the time you become stagnant. And if you become stagnant, you getting worse because you're not getting better. So
Exactly.
like, I don't care if you learn how to tie a knot, like you learn something. You learn
Right.
how to start a fire with a magnifying glass. You learn something. Like there's so much stuff in this world to learn, and it's cool. So through meditation, Eastern philosophy, seven laws of the universe, all that kind of stuff. That's what I get into, and it kind of expanded my view from like, football, and then it was like, it came out here like, whoa, there's a world. There's like the grass we play on is green. Wow, like the sky we play under is blue. And it caused me to just go on this exploration to where I had to completely lose myself to then find myself.
Okay.
So the mental health piece of this, I think for you to get to the place in life, you kind of gotta lose yourself completely. Like I think you have to forget who you were to become, I guess, a better
Absolutely.
version of yourself. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of negative habits and things we pick up through life that until you start exploring your own mental health and inner child and shadow, that you don't realize that wasn't even my problem. That was someone else's problem they put on me.
Right.
And now I've formulated this thing into my life. So now I'm like, I'm never gonna be rich. I'm never gonna, because your mom used to, I don't know, rent out Ziploc bags and reuse them or something like that. But that kind of stuff is infectious. So like, just kind of losing myself, I guess, is what put me on that path of mental health. But mental
How
health is,
how do you
mhm,
manage it on a regular? How do you manage your mental health on a regular basis?
man, it's a regimen and it's a routine.
Okay.
It's just like anything else. It's like working out. And that's the thing that I want people to most to understand about mental health and meditation. And that, like, you're gonna go to the gym, for instance, one day and have a bad workout.
Okay.
One day you're gonna show up and your head's not gonna be there, but it was the best workout you ever did. It's you wake up, and that's what being in the moment, like I was talking about, shows you. So every day I wake up, I try to beat the sun up. Um, because it's just something about being up before the sun, before people are calling you, before people are texting you, where you can have that hour and a half to 2 hours to just kind of sit by yourself and be like, okay, where am I in the world right now? Let me forget that yesterday's thoughts or yesterday's thoughts. What am I trying to do today? And then, meditate. Um, I'm kind of in a place right now actually where I'm switching up my morning routine. So it's weird because it's like I had one, but I'm not doing it because there's like more things that I read about, like just what works for me. And
Okay.
but basically it's just a lot of research. It's a lot of research and just tuning in and tapping in with myself. And I'm at an advantage because I don't have a girl, I don't have kids. So I have that extra time. And for guys who don't have that, it's even more important for you to get up and do this when you don't feel like it, or stay up late if you're a night owl and have this time by yourself as a man, because I don't know what it is. There's just something hardwired biologically in us where we have to like go by ourselves and be isolated every once in a while as a man. Like, and I think that's important because like it's like Walden Pond, Henry David Thoreau. He just went out there and sat and he just observed and found so much out about just the world and himself and his thoughts. And that isolation period will let you as a man really understand what's going on inside of you, so you can then effectively communicate to somebody, whether you need help, whether you feel like your girl having an emotional affair because her work husband this and that. It's all those different little emotional things that we go through that we've been taught to suppress,
Right.
that
Right.
that them times alone, even if you are one of them dudes and you like, man, I don't even really, because I'm this way, bro. I know exactly what's going on with me, but I know bringing it up to a certain person at a certain time, it's just not gonna hit. So it
Right.
don't matter. So I gotta let go of that emotion. You know what I mean? So like isolation and solitude is,
I
if you're a
do.
man, get it. Get
See,
some
what's crazy is like
isolation.
I'm glad that, I mean, it's good that you saying that because like me, I'm a type of person to where I'm more of a type like I'm a reach. Like, if I'm going through somewhere having a problem, I'm gonna find the help. But you saying like what works for you. So it's good to have like different viewpoints. You know what I mean? Different
Well,
aspects.
bro, let me say this too. I know sometimes I get too lost in the hero's journey. You know what I mean? The samurai story, the Lone Ranger. I get lost too much in that. So balance is good. Like you need someone around you, and that's why you're like who you around is important too. Cause
That's
like,
what I was gonna ask you next. Like,
yeah,
what type of individuals do you have in your circle? I'm not asking you to throw no names out there, but if you had to like identify characteristics and qualities of the type of men that you surround yourself with, how would you define those qualities and those characteristics, and why? Why do you surround yourself with that?
I think there's really just one, because I think it's important to embrace all different types of characteristics in people, right? But accountability is like it for me. Like for real. Like I don't care if you like country music or if we're different or this or maybe da 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 or whatever's like different between us. But if you're a dude who can show up and be accountable and own your shit, like I respect you. Even if you hate me, but you look at me and go, I hate you, and this is why, because that's your truth. All right, bro, I respect you for that. That's real. Because you're not just running around off no false pretense or something somebody else said. Like you telling me what's coming from your heart. So
Right.
like accountability, that's important to me. Is you gonna show up when you need to show up, and is you gonna stand on business when it's time?
Okay. So you strike me as a pretty deep thinker. You know what I mean? So like,
I
and I
think
know
too
that
much, bro.
people people who are deep thinkers, they have a tendency to kind of push people away. You know what I mean? Or some people don't like want to
Yeah,
be.
I have that problem.
That's
I'll
what I was
be
about to
honest.
ask you. Like, how does that work? How does that work for you?
Um, it's learning how and when. You know, not every
Yeah, what
not
do you
not a
mean? Elaborate on that a little bit more for me.
not everything's for everybody, bro. I know when I'm in a crowd, and there's a thing through the seven. It's a book called the Kabbalion. It's basically about the seven universal laws that the three initiates. It's these three dudes. They wrote this book, but in there they talk about how you know uh teacher will present himself when student is ready. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Right.
kind of
Okay.
like what I live my life by. Like if somebody starts asking me questions, I'm gonna give them an answer. And there's a certain line of words or a certain line of things where somebody will come to me and say a specific phrase where I'm like, okay, it's time. But that comes from that isolation and me understanding my inner being and hearing that voice when it's like, okay, he's ready for that. You can give it to him.
Okay.
Otherwise, people ain't ready. It's laughy, laugh, jokey, joke. Hey, bro, what's up? And I'm just not sticking around too long because it's just not what I want to do right now.
Right.
Yeah. So it's uh it's no slight to no one else because I understand everybody else got their own stuff going on,
Right.
and something that put that in perspective to me is you heard about that show called The Bear?
I don't do too much TV, man. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what that is.
Okay, it's this show about this dude. It's on Hulu FX. I like television because life inspires art. So like when I watch television, it's not programming to me. Like I like watching the psychology behind the writing and the script and there's a lot of things that are going on, character development. So there's this dude in the show where he was basically his brother wound up killing himself, and he had to come back to Chicago from running the number one restaurant in New York as a chef, and he was started running his brother's like it was like a family restaurant like downtown Chicago, like, but he goes to
Oh,
this
you talking
council.
about with the dude from Shameless?
Yeah, bro.
I
Yeah,
just
bro.
seen pictures of it. I haven't watched it, but I'm
Hard.
listening.
Hard. It's hard, bro, because it's talking what we're talking about right now, men and mental health and what he goes through. In the last episode, he finally goes to this like group, and he's talking about how like he don't like to ask people how they're doing because he knows that question's coming back to him,
Uh-huh.
and he don't know how to answer that. So like to some people it looks rude you know, when I just pull away because I don't want to talk to you, or some people it's this or that, but it's like, you know, there's two sides to every story with that. So
Right.
like being a deeper thinker, I kind of have that avenue in my head to be like, you know, this person's not rejecting me, this person's not hurting me. They're just not in a place to receive what I got right now. But I definitely like have bro, like I've been Kanye West before in the conversation. Like everybody look at, you know what I'm saying? Like looking at
Listen,
me.
man.
Yeah,
Don't get me
bro.
started on that, man. We gonna the viewers gonna go away if we get to talk about. I'm a huge Kanye fan, man. Everybody know it's ain't too many, so we gonna leave that one. But I know exactly what that statement. When you say that, I know
Hmm.
exactly what you mean. When people just look at you like you crazy and you saying something because they don't understand or the information is not like, it's not
Yeah.
prevalent. So people are like a lot of people are, and I don't want to be throwing no demeaning words out, but sheep. You know what I mean? So a lot of people aren't willing
Yeah.
to be here. So I definitely understand you say that.
Unenlightened, bro. The light just ain't went off yet. You know what I'm saying? They ain't sheep. They just not enlightened yet. They
There
just
we
ain't
go. We
flicked the
call there we go.
switch
You
yet.
see? Okay. So then and then I was talking, like I said, I've been talking to other people. We trying to highlight, man, and we trying to bring a different light to how black men communicate with one another and having
Hmm.
more positive conversations, giving compliments and not being bashing women or bashing men or complaining and stuff like that. So, like, what's your thoughts on that as far as like us as black men having more positive conversations? And how do you think or how do you feel that would kind of change the narrative of the way that we are looked at? And it's just in the city of Erie. I can't speak for the world, but in the city of Erie, Pennsylvania, like how do you think that would change the narrative if us as black men can have these more type of conversations and feel comfortable with doing it?
You know, I'd like to use the analogy of like Chinatown. You go to any major city, it's a Chinatown. When you go to Chinatown, it's Chinese people serving Chinese people in their neighborhood. You feel what I'm saying? That type, and this is something that is, you know, like I said, I've witnessed gentrification in Brooklyn, living in Manhattan, where you walk in one store and it's got bulletproof glass, and right next to it is a brand new high rise where like some ESPN employees probably live. You know what I'm saying? And us as an African American community, it's a niche community, right? It's small. So that's why I'm saying is Erie as a small city, the population of the African American community is even more small and niche. We need to get together. And that starts by ego going out the window because, you know, there's a lot of people who've accomplished a lot of cool things in this city and you'll never know about it because they're humble. And it's the people with the loudest mouths who have nothing going on who try to, like, you know, they'd rather put a bomb at the bottom of your castle than try to figure out how we can build a wall between all of our castles. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm.
So for me personally, through what I've navigated through is like, and this and my you know what? All right, here we go. Gloves is off.
Let's
The
go.
music, the music scene has taught me this, right? So I've had a vision for a very long time about things, and I've any major rapper, anybody you've seen around here, I've tried to get all of us in a room at one time, sitting down. And I got receipts for this too. I had a format set up at 1201 Kitchen before they went out where we was gonna sit down and have a shop type dinner and have him cook for us and have it get shot to where like LeBron and them do the shop. We was
Yeah.
gonna do a dinner and talk about the state of Erie music. Like these are the type of ideas that I've had, but once you get them, either you find somebody around the corner trying to do your idea because they can't accept the bottom line of the ego of like, I didn't come up with that and that's hard.
Yeah.
Just
I
give me
agree.
my flowers, bro.
I agree.
It's
I agree.
okay. It's okay to tell me I did okay. Like that's okay. And you know, I keep my mouth shut, but like it's a lot of people I see around here talking about goats and this and that. And it's like, bro, I know what I've done in this industry and y'all ain't been in half these rooms and y'all talking about goat. Okay, you can be the goat of the pond in the middle of the, you know,
Right.
you you can't even get in the ocean, bro.
Right.
That raft won't even work out there. What did you do? Like, so ego, man. Stop thinking that you something. Because if you was, you be somewhere or you
Right.
know somebody.
Right.
I've had to, bro, I know people in the industry and I'm here because I understand I still got work to do.
I love it.
I still got work to do. And it takes, I'm two, what that's 2013. This is my 9th year, bro. They say it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. 10,000 hours is an understatement, in my opinion, because I'm already past that and I still ain't there. Ego, bro. That's what ruined me at that point because I thought I was something and then I had to get humbled.
Sheesh.
I had to get humble because when I came back from New York and I was this and I'm that and I'm Voodoo and we just did 3 million on the song I produced for Zebra and we're with Hardo and Jimmy Wapo. We got a session with him next week right before he got smoked out. Man, things this all rolling. We making bread. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all right. That'll go away quick because you can live your whole life eating McDonald's, but I can guarantee you probably only gonna live to be 35, 40. And bad fuel, it'll get you there, but it ain't sustainable. And that's one of the biggest lessons I had to learn. So, like, yeah, coming back home is humbling, but that's what I needed.
Right.
So,
Right.
that's
So then,
that's what it is.
on the flip side, and it's interesting to hear you say that because, like, I'm not really into the music. So I know a couple people, local rappers and stuff like that, but it definitely seems like it should be something. Like it should be like I don't know. I
Bro,
just feel like you
because
see a
of
lot of
how
bigger
much,
cities like Atlanta, they got they music scene going, and the LA got, but
yep,
it's like area is too small for everybody to be so many different places when we could just make a compilation. But I don't know the music. I don't know the industry.
bro.
I don't know the ego or the
Well,
mentality or
here's
whatever.
the thing around here that you got to understand and that I do understand is there's history, bro. And because it's so small, history means something. What your brother did to my brother, what my cousin did to your brother, what your family did to my family.
Okay.
So, like,
Okay.
bro, there is certain shit that's unforgivable. I do feel that way.
Do
What
you really, truly believe there are certain things that is
when I
unforgivable?
say when I say unforgivable, I can forgive you, but being around you and being
Okay,
okay
okay,
with you is true
got you,
forgiveness. True
got you.
forgiveness. I can be like, yeah, he cool. I don't want to hurt him no more, but no. True forgiveness is I give you a hug, bro. It's cool. We rock out. So there's certain things that and for me, it ain't for me to say what's unforgivable for you and for the
Right,
next person. So if
right,
he don't want to do no music with him because of this, then that's what it is, bro. So in my opinion, because of how much hurt and pain is in this city and poverty and everything that we've watched happen, I got homies in Atlanta. I got homies in LA. I got homies in Houston. I got homies everywhere, bro. Like through doing this music and networking, we're like, bro, the average song that come up out of here is way harder than the underground. Like the booty rappers everywhere else. Like, bro, I'm here to tell y'all, these boys is hard here. It's like being an Erie rapper, like whatever that, y'all need to dead that. Cause like Rio and Rio Louis Ray, they from Flint, bro. Flint the same as Erie, bro.
right,
That could be us. That could
right,
be us.
right.
Y'all don't want that. Cause nah,
It's the
man,
ego.
that's not cool, bro.
The
Yeah,
ego, huh? So then, like,
yeah.
okay, so on the flip side, like when you think about like
But there is a lot that we as a city have to catch up on mentally
what do you mean?
before we can get there.
So what do
Small
you mean?
town, bro.
How do we get rid of the ego when you're literally saying nobody's really done much of anything? So what would be your solution to like getting rid of
Go
that?
go do something. Go travel. Go see something outside of here. Bro, I was in there's a club in New York called the One Oak. I don't know if it's open anymore, but Jay-Z start the night at the Blue Note, wind up at the One Oak. Like we was in there one night, and there was this dude who ordered a gold train, like a gold bottle train. And I'm looking at this dude, and I'm like, I have no clue who this dude is, bro. Like, no clue who this dude is. And I get to talking to people. I wound up, sidling up to his section. This dude wound up being like a Saudi prince. You know what I mean? One of them people who got the crazy money over there. And
Mm-hmm.
it put it in perspective to me that like Busta Rhymes was there that night. Trinidad James was there that night. Ski Master Slump God was there that night. And they couldn't get around him. Them is our idols, bro. It's
Right.
levels. So when you go see that and you see like, wow, like it puts it in perspective like small fish, bro. Like you really a small fish. Cause even the big fish can't get with him. That's crazy, bro. And like seeing that, it makes you understand your value and your worth, but then it's also kind of toxic because when you do come back here, you think you're better than everybody because you saw something.
Okay,
So
I respect your honor. I really do. I'm gonna keep it. I cut you. I may cut, but I really truly can say I appreciate your honesty, man. I respect your honesty because like everything that you're saying is making sense and it is all adding up. And a lot of people don't even have like the, I guess, integrity to come on here and say stuff like that to admit certain things that you admit, and then either
my intention is not like, and this is also like part of my brand and what I believe. Like I'm gonna speak my truth, and my intention is to not sow seeds of division. I just like, and honestly, like I have no, like my dog in the fight is me. You know, if y'all want to come over and hang out, I'm cool with it. If you don't, I'm cool with it. My intention is to just, if I'm gonna make this place better, I gotta call it how I see it.
right,
And if I'm a person with a gift to be able to break down processes from afar, then I need to give this information to somebody who can be more of an inside, like you, who's more of inside a community. Because, like I said, I will Kanye this, like, and I don't mean that in going off the rails, but in the way that I will say something and people's, because as humans, our definitions are so different on things. Sometimes they'll be like, "What is he saying?" And it's like, until you can understand somebody understands what you're saying, you can't say it. So you got to break it down to a liaison, which is somebody like you, who I think is very important inside of these communities, where you can take something because you understand what I'm saying and go back to somebody who might not and be like, nah, bro, that's what this means.
right, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, you absolutely right about that because a lot of stuff that you're saying, I'm listening to it, and you know what I mean. Like, I understand what you're saying, but I know for the common ear, for the common mind, people like somebody gonna be thinking, who do he think he is, or what is he talking about? And like, that's why I said, like, I
Who do I,
appreciate.
bro? I'm just a guy sitting in a studio in Erie, dude. Like, and that's the realest part that I can about all of this. Like, I just happen to have a hobby of studying, studying the things that I like to study. That's it. I read what I
Why
like
is
to
that
read.
an interest? So, do you study the things that you studied to? I mean, because you're curious. Do you do it because you want a new life path and you're trying to create a new journey? Like, is it an interest of you? Is you teaching it? Like, why do you? Because it seems like you're reading some deep stuff. You're studying some deep stuff. Like, why is that stuff important to you, and how does that radiate off to you to where it can benefit other people around you?
So I think the only way we're gonna change the world is understanding it. So like sociology is one of the like I think sociology is one of the most interesting things why humans do what they do. So I like to study the human brain. Um, I like to study like like Jordan Peterson, even though a lot of people don't agree with him on some things, like I think he's got a lot of good things to say. And guys like him who they have a way of presenting it so that it's like real easy for you to understand what they're saying, Um I kind of lost my train of thought on that one, but that's all right. Uh but mainly just sociology. I think we got to learn about each other to learn how to get through it with each other. So a lot of the things that I study come from trying to understand myself. So through the process, I'm understanding others as well.
Okay.
And I think really that's where it comes from, is me just trying to figure out me. Uh, Trying to figure out why it still bothers me that certain thing in fifth grade happened, that you still cringe about it or something like that. I don't know, bro. I had an experience where I I told you, like I had a mental breakdown, and like when all those things start happening, and like I hate this term, when you wake up or whatever, you finally look back at all the decisions you've been making, and you go like, that's not me at all.
Right.
And that's kind of like, I had an experience like that, and that's really what made me start going into like, I don't this isn't even me, like.
Right.
So I
Well,
guess yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like an open ended question, because I'm so far down the path now that it's like, I don't know. This is just what you do. Like,
listen, man, that's how the question's supposed to go, right? So then I
yeah.
want to take it all the way back to the beginning of the interview when you said like your identity was football player. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And that was it, and that was all until you had a situation occur to where football was no longer an option for you. So, what would you say to the young man right now today who feels like his identity is football, based on your experiences and what you had to learn through your own hardships or struggles or whatever adjective we gonna call it? What
Hmm.
would you say to the young man right now who thinks his identity is a football player?
no one really knows what they're talking about, and there's a lot more to the world than what it looks like. I mean,
What would you encourage him to do?
listen to himself, listen to his heart, listen to his gut. And as long and there's a caveat to that, right? Because if you're Jeffrey Dahmer and you're listening to your gut, like, okay, this could get risky. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But like, so you got it. That's what I'm saying about meditating, checking in, accountability, having character, not lying, not cheating, not stealing, having discipline, having a schedule, having a routine. Because if you're a cat like that, you know that that voice that's talking to you on the inside is refined. It's the right voice. You know what I mean? So train your voice inside of you, learn your path, learn what you're interested in, and find. I tell them to find at least two things outside of football that make them happy.
Okay.
That's not girls.
Absolutely.
That's not girls.
So then going back to the whole football thing again, because like I'm real big on, like the fellowship, you know what I mean, in the
Mm-hmm.
fraternity of like, so and then you went to prep, you played football at prep, you know what I mean? I went to
Mm-hmm.
Central, so like it's like two completely different dynamics of ball. So like take me through like how not football, but just like the people who worked at prep, the coaches and all of that, how they played a role in as far as like not only on the field but off the field, or if they didn't, you know what I mean? Just kind of highlight that as far as like some of the guys who helped you or didn't help you. And no, we ain't doing no bashing though. So if you ain't getting on, just, you know what I
Oh
mean?
no, no, no. I ain't never gonna bash.
Okay,
Look, when I went to prep, it was a different culture, bro. I'm gonna just keep it a bean. Coach Hall was different than Mishler. Um,
oh, you weren't there. Mitch was at out of Iroquois when you was there.
nah, I call it the dark years when I was at prep.
Oh
You
wow, I
feel
thought
what
you
I'm
was that
saying?
part of. I thought you was there when Mitch was there.
Oh no, bro, no, no. Freshman to senior year was Donnie Hall, and he just had his way he looked at life, and the way he looked at football, and the way he looked at developing men.
Okay,
And he might not have been the right fit for the right time at prep for us. You
okay,
know, we had a lot of players like me, um, Eric Green, Dejan, Toby Aduho, like mainly the black players on our team were like we were clowns, bro. We like to have fun. We like to just screw around. And freshman and JV year when we played, we was running it up on people because we were just having fun. And then we got up there and it was like he's like, I remember I got yelled at for having. You remember when we used to tape our belts?
yeah, with the colors, different colors, John.
Yeah, so my belt, I had it. We were playing a home game, so we were wearing all orange, and I had a black belt, and then I had the white tape, black strip, white tape, black strip, hard. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "What the hell is that? You talking about, bro? Take that off your belt." For real? Okay. Like, all right.
Right,
So inside of prep, it's probably a different culture now, but like it's more based in like what it was in back then, coming off the '90s and the politics and what name you had and who how good you were perceived, bro. I don't know, and I can only speak from my experience. Like I was pretty good, people have told me.
right,
Um,
right.
but I feel like I kind of fell into a category where like I wasn't dark enough to be over here and I wasn't light enough to be over here.
Damn,
And
wait, hold on, wait. I'm glad you said that, and I ain't have to ask that. What
yeah,
does that mean?
as a biracial kid coming up, like all the white kids would tell me I wasn't black. So you talking about like identity crisis shit, like, oh, Austin, you're not black. And it's like, yes, I am. I don't fit that, you know,
Stereotype.
exactly. So like, and then over here, the niggas is like, bro, why's you talking like that? I'm just being me, bro.
Right,
Like,
right,
I'm not even like, because I was born how I was born, I had that unique perspective as a kid to like, I saw color in the sense of like, it's important because seeing color lets you acknowledge someone's culture and where they come from and respect it. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't see it as something that was like made us different.
right,
I saw people's colors like this is your attribute, this is your archetype, this is your attribute, this is why you act the way you do is because you were raised. Oh, okay, you were raised here. This is okay. This is your culture, basically.
right, right.
So it was like whatever I did on the football field was cool, but like nobody like And I was going through my own shit, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with internal and becoming a man, and where's dad, and what's this, and why do I have to do this? And I have all these and then me being a deep thinker already, I'm thinking, at 15, like a 30-year-old probably, trying to figure out why I'm watching teachers systematically uphold a hierarchy system based on last names, because, like, okay, your dad is Judge whoever. I treat him like he's Judge whoever, because in the real world, a judge makes way more than a teacher. So for the prep teacher or whoever back in that time, for them to keep their place on the hierarchy, they had to put me in a specific place because I couldn't be better than the judge's kid. Because then what's that mean about them?
Wow.
So I'm sitting at prep at 16, just trying to get a full ride and play ball, bro. And I was that kid 2000 when they won Bob was playing 99, 2000. I'm 9, 10 years old. This is, my cousin Javon, Donnie Brown. He started corners. Yeah, come on. Jawan Walker's running the ball. I'm best friends with his little brother Marcus. We playing ball. Mark Dave, we playing ball together. I'm like, yeah, come on, we going to prep. There's no question. I had a picture that I painted in like first grade, bro. That was me in a prep uniform. Swear to God on my life. And then I got there and I was like, this is shitty.
Mm.
And like that also taught me to, like, careful what you wish for, man.
Right.
Like, you gotta understand the back end of that before you just start trying to jump into shit, because, like, yeah, that looks glamorous and yeah, that looked like that was the thing, but like nothing was really fostering my soul in a way that I from the administration.
Right.
I always felt like more of a burden because I was just trying to laugh, but the whole time nobody understood. I was just trying to laugh because I was dumb uncomfortable because I didn't understand what was going on in my head. So then it's like, you talk about football, it's a TikTok, bro, that I watched the other day, and it made me cry. It made me cry when the little boys, like, they say football is bad for your health. But when you play football, all the voices go away and you feel serenity.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, that's why I think I was so good at it and it went the way it did, because it literally was the only, like, even you're at Vet Stadium, 15,000 people, and it goes quiet. It's the most, it was like, and it's crazy to hear because it's such a paradox, but like, there's such a, like, peace and quiet inside of those concentrated car accidents, like that. I just, you just can't really explain it.
Would you coach? Have you ever coached before?
Yes. And I stopped.
You have coached?
Yes, I stopped.
Why did you stop?
Because I Kanye Wested it.
So let me ask you this, right?
I was coaching St. George 8th graders.
Hold on, wait. I want to ask you a question, because
yeah.
I Kanye Wested for that right there. When you talk about accountability, you're telling me, I don't know if you're just using that as an example, but you're pretty much
far. I went too
right.
far.
Right. So, but you can acknowledge that. So if you know that,
yeah,
why don't you work on that?
Because there's only one way. There's only one way I know how to do that. When I play ball, I mean, you ask anybody I played with, bro, it's 325,000%. Like, there is no. So, like, when I used to play semi-pro and it's the first practice and I'm yelling at people, I'm like, bro, it's the first practice. What are you talking about? I don't care if this is the first practice. We are playing football. Because, like, to me, it's life or death. People have died doing this,
Okay.
So,
I feel you.
When you try, like I said, I tried to coach middle school. The culture's changing. I don't have the filter to soften it up yet because I don't have kids, bro. So I don't really understand. High school kids would be cool, but then I'm fighting you because you got a smart mouth.
Okay.
Because I just don't do that. You know what I mean?
Well, like, you take football very serious. I understand everything. So you on the sideline, you feeling like you missed the block. Like, what the, you know what I mean? Like,
bro,
you want to go out.
So my best friend Harley, I've been best friends with him for since I was like 6. We used to work at Champs together. Everybody knows us. But like, I was at his son's game. They're 10, bro. I was losing it. Why doesn't the corner no backside contain? Why isn't he? I'm like, and I'm talking about like schemes that we're doing stuff in college. You feel what I'm saying, bro?
Right,
so it's like,
right.
Trying to teach a 10-year-old why 22 power is different on a one tech versus a three tech, and why the double team needs to go to the center rather than the middle backer. I'm cool. But then you do that and you get to talking to these semi-pro cats, they ego out the wall too. Maybe college I could try, but I had my relationship with football, bro. It's done. It's cool. I
You might just
love
need
it.
to teach. You might need to just teach music then. You know what I mean? So then, like, let's talk
I'm
about that
teaching,
music.
bro. I'm teaching life, bro. I'd
Okay,
rather teach
all right.
life. And
So let me
like,
ask you how important is an imagination in the mind of a man? How important is your imagination for you, and how important do you think imagination is for us as men in general?
if you have no creativity, you can't create. And I don't know if people understand what I'm saying by that, because it's like using it, but it's like, bro, if you have no imagination, you like, how do you put yourself in that position of seeing yourself at the top of the mountain if you don't have imagination? And if you never seen it in your mind, it's never gonna happen in the physical. So, a lot of people, especially in a creative career like mine, like my
That's why I asked you.
imagination is
That's why
like,
I asked you.
you know, um, I still flick on like Disney movies and Harry Potter and like all that kind of stuff, because it's not necessarily about like just being a big kid, but it is kind of, because like we have such an imagination as a kid, and such a like, think about it, man. You could be 4 years old with a box, and that could be a space station, or it could be a submarine. It could be whatever you want it to be. And when you put yourself there, you begin to get things out of yourself that you never quite thought you could be, because like when you get out of your prefrontal cortex, which is basically your auto bibliography of your brain, like my collection of experiences that make me who I am. And this is why meditation is important, because once you stop your thoughts and you go to that place of your subconscious, or where your conscious mind isn't engaged, which is your imagination, then you can begin to disassociate yourself from all those fears that you have. Um, all those previous experiences that you had that are making you step back from being a public speaker, because in third grade I botched this speech, so now I just don't like talking in front of people no more, like, and when you take yourself outside of that the biographical part of your brain, you begin to gain more access to who you are more as a person, and you begin to see that you're so much more than just a football player, like from my example, and that's like, my imagination saved my life.
So what would you tell another man who was saying imagination isn't important without what encouraging him to utilize his imagination and and
if,
and
hey,
and educate?
if it works for him, it works for him. It's some cats that are very content with going to that machine job, making 30 an hour, providing for their family, because their imagination is seeing it through their kids. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's I think it's just being open to experience, maybe is a better term more than imagination. Just being open, being able to be like, yeah, that's a possibility, because that requires some form of imagination,
Right.
you know. Um, it's possible that a person can support Donald Trump but still be a humanitarian in some way. I don't know. I'm just trying to like bring two extremes together to
Oh,
show
you have a
people.
point. Trust me, you have a point with that one.
Yeah, bro, like not everybody's terrible. There is terrible people, don't get me wrong,
Absolutely.
but like not everybody's terrible. And just because somebody likes something, like, you know, oh well, you'll learn, the way people talk will tell you. But like,
Right.
yeah, man, having an imagination keeps you open. It keeps you, and that's what. And if you're open, you can learn. And if you can learn, you're progressing. If you're progressing, you're getting better. If you're getting better, then hey, life's good.
So is the majority of the knowledge and the majority of the information that you have self-taught?
Yeah, yeah. Nobody taught me this music. Like, so yeah, okay, people did teach me, right? Because I'm a liar. Okay, so because I watch YouTube videos, right? So somebody did technically teach me, but I there wasn't a guided curriculum. Maybe that's the better way for me to go about saying what I'm saying. There wasn't a structured curriculum. This was all me going off impulse. I got to explore this now. Now I got to explore this, or it was out of necessity, which is where that imagination comes from. Um, Dang, this 808's not hitting right. Okay, let me go on YouTube and figure out what these. Let me go watch a professional do what he does and try to get in the mind, getting in the getting his process and understand it. You feel me? And that's kind of like, there was something I heard a long time ago, and it says genius leaves clues, and that kind of just is. I just go try to watch the geniuses because you'll learn stuff, and I just never really did well with school and other people teaching me the way they taught me. I just always did better with that. Um, like learning at my own pace. And there's a dude named Jim Quick, Kwik, and he suffered a traumatic brain injury when he was 5. He fell and like hit his head and like I think it was off a radiator or something like that, and like had memory problems and all this, and he was like dyslexic, trouble studying, all that, and he got to a certain age and he started like training his brain, new neurological pathways and new things, and he started training, and he figured out how to like fix his brain through exercise and repetition and stuff like that. So um through doing those kinds of things, it shows you that like you can leave behind old stuff and create new stuff, and there's no really like barrier once you understand how you learn. And that's one of the things that Jim Quick is big on, is not just learning but learning how you learn, like whether that's through touch, alliteration, feel, whether you have to like tell yourself a ridiculous story so that you remember the details, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So um I that was somebody who influenced me and showed me that like learning how you learn is really important. And that's another thing that I would push to people, learn how you learn.
Learn how
And
you learn. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
once you learn how you learn, you will suck up so much more. Because when people used to sit me down and be like, read this book and tell me what it's about, I'd be like, I don't know, man. There's a guy and he's doing something. I don't know. I fell asleep, but when I
Right.
go read The Art of Your Subconscious Mind, I'm engrossed from beginning to end, because it's like what I want to learn,
Right. Right.
how I
Right.
want to learn it, at my pace and at my time.
So where does all this ambition and this motivation come from? Like, it seems like you got a lot of discipline, a lot of ambition, like a lot of motivation. Like, where does it come from?
Football. Fell in love with the process of working out, bro. Like, I still love going to the gym to this day, dude. Like, I ain't even training for nothing. It's like it's dojo. Like, I call it the dojo. That's what it is. Like,
All right.
it's you against you. You feel what I'm saying? And
So,
through me, like, so like when I was in 10th grade, I used to wake up at 5 in the morning, go run.
uh-huh.
Then I would get to school and do my homework, because everybody knows at prep you don't do your homework at night. You do it in the morning before class. And that's also kind of why like people go to prep are really smart. It's crazy, bro. The things that we used to do. A lot of people cheat. Don't get me wrong, but like a lot of stuff we used to do, like we had this kid who was like first in AP Latin, and he used to do like his AP Latin homework in like 20 minutes before class. Like it's like, I'm kind of glad I went to prep to see kind of that remarkable stuff too, because that probably left a little bit of an impression on me. Like people can do
Right.
incredible things, you know what I mean?
Right.
But
Who are 3 people in the city of Erie who inspire you?
oh man, whoa, that's deep.
Yeah, in the city. I don't want nobody on YouTube, nobody you done met in New York, or 3 people in the city of Erie who inspire you.
Man. All right, so Big Cuz, Andre Horton,
Okay.
off rip. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go him and Gary, like 1A and 1B together. Like
Okay.
they're and it's like it's weird because Kennedy and Aaron, like you just gotta put all the Hortons in one. Like
Yeah, and I
they,
was
you
with
know
I
what
was
I'm
with
saying?
Andre and Gary yesterday. They're my
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, they're dope. They're real dope, man. And like them, I guess, because like just because I guess Andre in the realm of where he's at is showing me how to unapologetically be you, no matter where you're at, and be able to still like get down and be you and not worry about, really what's going on around. And that like when the message is supposed to hit, when you're destined for something, it's just gonna go. You don't really gotta worry about it. Um, who's another person in Erie that inspires me? I know he's not a black man, and I like to highlight more of that. But like Tom Hagen,
Who is that? I
uh,
don't know who that is.
he owns Erie Insurance, bro. He's a billionaire.
Oh, okay. Come on. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, he's a billion. This is what I'm saying, bro.
Do
This
you know
man is.
do you know him personally? I mean people personally who kind of like had an impact on your life or played a role in
Oh,
your development.
personally,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, no,
personally.
I've never met him personally. I like, okay, all right, this frames it a little bit. So yeah, definitely Dre and Gary.
Okay.
Um, dang, inspires me, bro.
Personally, yeah, people that you know personally.
My boy Sav, his name's Sav, Lone Sav.
Yo, I just met him. That's crazy. I met dude. I went to his 3D art show. I met dude, man. He a cool dude, man. I
Yeah,
was like, with
and
his
it's
homie.
and it's crazy for me to say that because Sav's younger than me, bro. But he inspires me because like it was a while. Like he's going off and do like I don't when you're creative and you're working with people, like you work with people for a while and then like you guys kind of go away and then you come back. So it's like we're in a phase right now where we're like kind of away from each other. He's doing him and I'm doing me. And like when we come back, we'll have something. But like his mom just died like last year, I think, or a couple years ago. And like the way that he's like just his resilience after hearing this story, because we spent a lot of time together driving back and forth to Pittsburgh and like, sharing hotel rooms and talking and just being together and shit like that. And like, he's just a kid with an incredible story, bro. It's incredible. And the way he goes about his life and the way he's making his decisions, like, he definitely inspires me for surely. Um, and then someone else in my life who inspires me from Erie.
That you know personally. Let's
Shoot, my best friend Harley Beer, man.
okay.
That man, that man go to work every day and provide for his family, and that's inspiring to me to watch a man be a real man and provide ferociously for his family in a world where that's not common anymore, I guess. That's inspirational to me. Like it's inspirational to and it's so crazy for me to say the things that I'm saying because it's like you would think it's these big like da da da, but like bro, I'm inspired by the little things, man.
Right, right,
Like just the accountability, man. All them dudes got accountability, and I think that's why they inspire me because they're accountable, and they'll look at you when they're wrong, and they'll tell you they're wrong.
right. So then, like, and again, I appreciate we've been going for like an hour, you know what I mean? Like, I appreciate all the insights you got. You a deep thinker, man. I be seeing some of the stuff you post on Facebook, and I'm glad that I was able to have this conversation with you. Now, like, my question to you is let's say, for instance, right,
Mhm.
you were to walk into a place. Let's say you were walking to the Bayfront Convention Center.
Word.
And it was all these men, black men sitting around talking, and everybody was having a conversation similar to the conversation I had with you. And I'm not sure if you've watched any other time, but similar that I've had conversations with other people. How would that
Mhm.
make you feel?
That'd be dope, bro. We need. I think it's important just for men to have somewhere to commiserate. You know, um, it, something like that is it's kind of like you don't know till you know type of thing. That it would it I interested 100%, bro, 100%. That would be so interesting. But like for me to try to put a feeling on it, like I would love to experience something like that to understand how to answer that question better. That would be dope.
Would you be part of doing something like that if I were to, since you want the experience, if I were to provide that situation to where you
Yeah,
could?
bro. Yeah, let's do it. I was literally just talking to my boy Jose. I was like, bro, we got to start men's breakfast or something. Like, we got to start something where like men could be men and it's okay, and like we can talk and like have differences in opinion, and maybe get in an argument and be cool
Right,
afterwards.
right,
You know what I mean? Because I think I always tell people like perspectives like a basketball, and each of us are like one of the dimples that's on a basketball, and like from what I heard from one of the philosophers, like basically, like we're all just, when they say we're all one, we're all the same matter. Your finger's the moon, those kind of things. We're all connected through the consciousness of God, whether it's Allah,
right, right.
universe, spirit, whatever you call them. But we're all just a little piece of that. We're all just a dimple on that basketball, and all God is trying to do through all of us is just figure out how many different ways can you do this as a human. And you can see like there's 8 billion of us right now, not to mention all like bro, it's infinite. there's so many combinations of a human being, whether we have 2 things in common, 5 things, but this is different, nothing. So I think collaboration, cooperation, getting with people and understanding, being open, like creating those experiences is going to be something that's going to help move the city forward. And we got to do it in a way that's not corny. Like, because I'm so tired of these, like, all this shit that was around when we were kids, bro. It's so corny, bro. Like, so corny. Like, let's all get together and like, dude, no, like, let's just do some real shit. Like, let's all just hang out. Like, and if we gotta have it in a place where, like, some people smoke, some people drink, some people don't, like, bro, is having a place like you gotta burn up, light up, and do your thing. Like, word, let's do it. Like,
Right. Somewhere you could be
you
yourself,
know,
like men just
with
be men, you know what I mean?
within reason,
Right.
because a society without chaos is insanity. But like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, bro,
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree.
I tell you, like, everybody knows I smoke a lot of weed, bro, and that's half the reason I don't like going nowhere is because, like, I can't be me, and that don't feel authentic. And I think that's why a lot of people in the city don't go do nothing because they feel like, bro, for me to go downtown, I gotta fit a mold. For me to go to this club, I gotta fit this. For me to do this, I gotta do that. Nah, bro. You
Right,
you
right,
you better off catching me at Coach's in the back corner eating some chicken wings and sweats. That's just me, bro. That's just
right,
me.
right,
Like, I just got different. I'm just focused on different stuff right now.
right,
Wearing the nicest clothes and the da da da. Like I'd rather spend $7,000 on this vocal stack that I got next to me right now because
right.
it's helping my business and my career progress. So, like, it would be dope to go somewhere where you could just be you and no one would judge you. And, like, Planet Fitness, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, listen, like, no, I agree with what you're saying, man, for real, because it's like you were saying, it's a lot of places around here to where, like, when you go to a certain area or a certain place, you kind of feel like you gotta meet the mold and all of that. So, and that's why I asked that question. That's why I'm doing this because I want
Well, and
to
safety
be
is a
able to
big thing too, right? Like,
safety, absolutely,
for you, not in the sense of like physical safety, but like also spiritual safety, bro, mental
right,
safety. Is this a place where I can let my guard down? Because that's the only way you're truly going to get anything out of anything, is if you can 100% be open and reveal things. For instance, if you're in a relationship with a girl and she doesn't tell you that she's been cheated on by every single person she's been with, that second that you take that 10 extra minutes to do something for yourself and she's accusing you of cheating and you're like, what is going on? Like, context, right? If you communicate and tell me this, now I understand. Now I can begin to do things that reassure you, not because it's a power struggle, but because
right.
you're my,
We
I
not have
mess
an
with you
understanding of one another.
and I mess with you and I like you and I want to respect you. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro,
Yeah, no, my fault. I was checking, but yeah, no,
you
like,
good.
and that's why I asked that question. That's why I'm continuing to reach out to people because I want to keep having these interviews, having these conversations. But I'm telling people, like, it's not just going to be talk at this point. You know what I mean? We're going to be doing more than just talking. And even if we like, if a group of us can get together, sit down, talk, do some fellows, and even somebody in the comments. But like, yeah, I'm big on that too. Like, figuring
See,
out a
but a
way
lot
where
of
we
a lot
can
of things too also have been like
we have
religiously geared. And I think that's another thing that turns people away. Like, most things like this that we're talking about have been through a church or through an organization or something like if it's just us coming together, bro, we do what we want. You feel what I'm
exactly,
saying? So
exactly.
so I think that's also something in the past where it's like, because I know, cousin Andre, there's different things that they try to organize, but when it's like city politics or this
Yeah,
or
yeah. When it's organized,
religion,
nobody wants to
or
partake. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
because we
we
can't
gonna get to
come
the
get
point.
down,
We're gonna get to the point to where I mean, like, it's gonna be us. It's gonna be our thing. It's gonna be whoever, you know what I
bro.
mean? It's gonna be a group
We
of
get a
individuals,
pavilion
and
at the zoo.
it's gonna be a
Pop
bunch of
up.
different people who calling shots. You know what I mean? You might have your event to where we all coming, and I might have mine, and somebody else to where everybody can do their thing, and then the crowd that comes. But it's always gonna be love. It's always gonna be fellowship. It's always gonna be
Mm-hmm.
togetherness. You know what I mean? We're gonna figure out different ways where we can make some money together, raise kids. You know what I mean? And
All
get them
that.
involved in different things. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely interested in that, man. I appreciate your time. Like, I
Oh yeah.
appreciate all the insight, everything you had to say. I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up, but I always give people the opportunity to, brag a little bit about themselves because there ain't nothing humble about me, fam. Like, if I'm making a comment,
Yeah.
I'm making moves. I practice humility every single day. So with that, like, Is there anything you want to say to us? Anything you want to highlight about yourself? We're gonna give you your flowers. We're gonna give you the mic, give you the floor, let you
Oh snap! Yeah,
go
no,
ahead, man.
well look, whoever listens to my music on here, I appreciate you because it's coming from my heart. You know, if you don't, go tap in with us, tap in with Major Coin, go figure it out. You know, it's all around. Um, I guess I just want everybody to stay them and just stay them and be you and move forward. You know, don't get too caught up on yesterday because it doesn't exist anymore. Tomorrow's not really there. uh and what you do right now affects your tomorrow, so the more you focus on tomorrow, the more you can't get it done. So uh just pull up on us, get into the Major Coin universe, as we call it. They got some clothing and stuff over there. My boy Zebra, he down Atlanta. We got all our stuff on the net. Look out, I got TNF Reed, it's my boy. He been running around Houston with Jay Prince Jr. That's looking pretty good. So we got an album coming out. You know, just I appreciate everybody listening to what I got to say, man. That's dope. Anybody who pulled up.
Listen, man, this is what I'm gonna say to you, man. Like, you need to speak up more, man. Like, you need to make yourself more vocal. You know what I mean? Because like, so I'm sitting here listening to you. Like, honestly, I didn't know what to expect. And as I'm sitting here listening to you, like, you teaching me things, you enlightening me. I like your way of thinking because it's similar but different to mine, to where I can understand what you're saying, man. So like, I mean, if you got to share more, or you know what I mean, just drop a little, reels and
I'm
stuff
a
like that.
I'm
Like, I would
a
love to hear some of
I'm
the things that you have to say, man, and the way your mind works, because I think that you have a very beautiful mind. I
I
love the way that you
appreciate
think.
that,
I
bro.
love the way you articulate your words, man. Like, I love everything about every single thing that you had to say, and you held it down for an hour and 17 minutes. Like, and I enjoyed every moment of it. I can't wait to go back and actually watch it without being in it, so I can
Oh
really
yeah.
take in what you were saying.
Well, bro, for you, I appreciate you being a person taking the initiative to provide a platform for people like me to express our thoughts and feelings. I appreciate you for giving men a platform to where people can tap in and understand how our minds work and how things are. And I appreciate you for just being who you are, bro, and trying to be better. You know what I mean? I think it's important for 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 us to show reciprocation of giving flowers. You know what I mean? And you're definitely somebody who I tap in with, and just all the stuff you're doing. It's inspired. Definitely, bro. You inspired me too. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's in the city who's like just staying true to their mission is inspiring. So like, take yours too, bro. You getting it done. I think it'd be cool if you and Bobby linked up. I think that'd be dope.
Bobby, who, Fletcher?
Yeah.
That's my man's. I done been on his show plenty of times, man.
But
Me
that's
and Bobby, like, we.
but this okay. So this is what I'm saying, bro. You doing your thing, he doing his thing. Like, make that, like, because it's all of, because I done hopped on his talking this, and he's like, bro, this is interesting. He interested in this too. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, that's an avenue where that $1 million worth of game type setup between y'all two, that works. You feel
Man,
what I'm
listen,
saying?
Me and Bobby Truck. When I tell you, I didn't like. He used to live around the corner from me before he moved. Like, I used to
Bro,
go to his crib,
super cool dude,
sit there,
bro.
get
Super
talking. I
cool
love being on
dude.
the show and all of that. So yeah, I definitely agree with you, man, on that, man. I'm waiting for Bobby to come on the show too. Like, believe you, Bobby might have been the first person I reached out to for real.
He got to,
You know what I
man.
mean?
He
So
does. I think it's important because that what he's got going on over there is super cool too. And like for real, like it don't make no sense splicing off all these many avenues. Like really, like y'all get together, bro. It's a men's part, whether it's video games, sports, mental health, you know, whatever, man. Cause like y'all two, man, y'all got the brains to like make something interesting. And especially if you got a relationship, that's dope, bro. That's just
yeah, Bobby, that's like my bro, man.
there's so
Yeah,
much, bro. It's just potential. Everybody just be open to collaborating with everybody and just see where it goes.
and
That's
cooperating, like you said, not just
yeah,
collaborating, also cooperating.
yeah. Be able to take somebody else's idea, man. Cause and maybe I'm a little better at that because like as an engineer, like if somebody brings me their song, like it's not my idea, but it's up to me to look at it and be like, okay, if we switch this bridge around or if we make this shorter, you know, maybe if we switch the 808 in this part of the song, it's still your idea. That artist has to be open to be like, okay, let's try it because it might turn into something better than you thought, and it might be the worst thing you ever saw, but you learned. So there it is.
Right.
For
Well,
sure,
again,
bro.
man, thank you, man. I appreciate your time. You have a good rest of your day. Go ahead, cook us something up in the studio and do your thing. I see you've been holding that lighter for a minute, man. So I'm gonna let you go. You
Oh,
do your
no, no,
thing.
no, no. It's a pen. It's a
Oh,
pen,
okay.
but it's
I'm gonna let
close.
you get on. So we gonna link up. I'm gonna inbox you my information, or so I'm gonna need your email, phone number, all of that, because we
Bro.
building something. I'm about to start sending out information all crazy. So
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna be in touch.
you're always welcome to pull up and see what I got going on, bro. It's always a vibe in here. So
All right,
whatever
man.
you
I'm
want
gonna
to
be in
do.
touch, man. Take care of yourself. Have a good rest of the night.
Hey, you too, bro. Peace, God.
And there you have it, folks. We have my man, Mr. Chauncy BillSup, on the show, man. Listen, I'm impressed. Like, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I know what to expect from that interview. I know what to expect from that conversation. Like I said, I know him from being a youngster. I really didn't connect with him too much when he got older. I'm following him on Facebook. I see some of his posts. Very insightful, very open-minded. But like the conversation that I just had with him and listening to the way he thinks and the way his mind works and his transparency and his honesty and his like realness and his rawness, like I really, really, truly appreciate that. And what's interesting is he actually reached out to me and said, "Is there a sign-ups?" Because he was interested in coming on here and speaking to me. So, like, and let that be let that be a lesson, because like it's a lot of people who have a lot of great things to say, a lot of great information to provide, and you know what I mean. Sometimes you just got to say, "Listen, man, listen to me too. I want to talk," because, like I said, I'm opening the door for anybody. I want to hear everybody who has something creative to say, something insightful, something positive to say. So don't feel left out or don't feel modest, because me, myself, personally, I have not reached out to you. There are people who are sending me names of people they would like to hear on here. As you can see, my man, he reached out to me and said, I want to get on. I reached out to a bunch of different individuals. So if you are interested in coming on, we can come in the studio. I can turn the camera around. There's rooms, there's microphones in here. We can set it up, or we can go Facebook Live. You're interested in having a conversation on the Social Experiment Show, and you want to kind of talk about the development of a man, the mind of a man, what you see us, how you want to see us moving forward. Everybody knows I'm talking about mental health. So, like, if you can't come on here and talk about mental health, you might want to kind of do some research, some studying. But I'm happy that he came on here. I appreciate everybody for watching. We've been rocking for an hour and 21 minutes. I did 2 interviews today. Both of them was like an hour, 20, hour and a half. So, again, I appreciate everybody's time, your eyes, your ears, your likes, your comments, your shares. Stay tuned in, because what's tomorrow? Friday? I do believe that I have Raheem Smith tomorrow. I'm waiting to confirm a time with him, but I will be going tomorrow. And then on Saturday, I have Mr. David Motown Morris in the morning at 11 o'clock. And then I have Mr. Ron Paisley at 1 p.m. So we're going to keep this thing rolling. And then my calendar for next week is getting filled up too. So again, if you want to get on here, reach out to me, because like I said, I reached out to 60 people and people are sending back their time frames. So we wrapping everything up and we're going to figure it out. But we're going to build our community up. We're going to build our men up. We're going to uplift. We're going to educate. We're going to collaborate. We're going to cooperate. We're going to make some changes around here. We're going to make some things shake. So if you are interested in anything that you heard today, or if you're interested in adding anything to the show, anything to the conversation, feel free to reach out to me. My name is Deontay Cooley on Facebook. I'm on YouTube now. So, I mean, there's ways to get in contact with me. But I hope everybody enjoyed what you heard. Might leave, come back a little bit, get my own little 2 cents after I kind of recap and watch everything. I'm not going to say everything, but watch little bits and pieces, and we'll go from there. But appreciate everybody's time. Y'all have a good night. Have a good rest of your night. We're about to watch some football, eat some food. Take care.